It's another Monday morning at the garage after a nice relaxing weekend.
I went to Darlington to see a lovely pagoda roof 230 SL Merc.
Dropped off an RS2000 at Perth, and then we carried on up to Arbroath, where we took part in round 6 or 7 of the Scottish Rally Championship. Yeah, pistons and petrol all the way in it.
Cars are never far from our mind too, as we're constantly on the lookout for the right projects.
I know you're trying very hard for it to sort of stack up financially, but you've now obviously worked out it's very difficult to do that, isn't it?
We certainly have. So with that in mind, we carefully peruse what's on offer, and eventually land on this, a Porsche Boxster. Yes, high performance normally means high bills, but this one might not be as daft as it sounds. In the early 90s, Porsche was in a financial hole, trying to flog their 928 and 944 models. A cheaper, two-seater, aimed at younger drivers was proposed. After 5 years of faltering development, they brought in ex-Toyota and Mazda engineers, who concluded that sharing parts with the more powerful 911 was the way to keep costs down. At 35 grand, the new mid-engine 2.5-litre Boxster still wasn't cheap, but reviewers raved about its sensational chassis and grip. They wanted more power, but it was quick enough for most. In less than 10 years, Porsche had sold 165,000 of them, which went a long way to saving the company from bankruptcy. The one we're looking at is a 2001 model, with a slightly bigger 2.7-litre engine, that's done just over 100,000 miles.
You either go in at the bottom or in at the top. This one is arguably in at the bottom, but still very straight. It's in real good order, the car. It's done the miles real well. Manual, which is a massive bonus. Although we don't drive them around at warp speed nowadays, there is something about a manual sports car, isn't there? A big clean. The lights will come up a little bit better, won't they? Wheels are fairly good. Just wants things like in here, all painting up and looking nice. I'm a bit OCD when it comes to brakes. I'm also OCD when it comes to mud flats, but that's besides the point.
Boxsters are a lot of car, but early ones are ridiculously cheap.
Certainly £4,000-ish. They're not a lot more money than an MX-5 Mazda.
Paul has some theories why.
Buy an MX-5, you have a lot less aggro, won't you? Leave them for 3 weeks, the battery's flat. Why we can't have a button to open the boot? We have to have an electronic button, don't we? That go wrong. Every once in a blue moon, one comes along and it drives lovely. The other 35 don't drive very nice. So no, I'm not a fan of them, mate, no.
Conflicting views, so we've set a limit of 4 grand on this one.
Porsche Boxster lot 133, she's a 2001.
Right, so just look in the opposite direction.
Cheap car, aren't they? Only one way they're going to go, I'm sure. Whereabouts then? 2, 2.25, 2.5, 750, 750, 753, £3,000, £3,000 going in 3.1, 3,100. Can I say 2? £3,100. 3,132, 200 and gone then, 3,200 bangers, provisional.
Have we bought a Porsche?
For 3,200 quid.
What's wrong with it?
Hopefully nothing. Well, nothing serious anyway. To find out though, we rather nervously transport it to Birstall, just outside Leeds. Russ Stanley has been running his specialist Porsche garage here since 2011. It's fair to say he's seen a few Boxsters.
Well, they're our bread and butter, and we get so many of them. We probably expect a lot of worn suspension, plenty of oil leaks, maybe a couple of water leaks here and there, or you could be lucky and it might all be OK.
Mechanic Anthony Talbert knows only too well these are not the easiest cars to work on.
They can be a bit awkward. Sometimes it's like wallpaper in your hallway through your letterbox.
As Paul predicted earlier, the battery is completely flat.
Starter motor, chain guides, power steering.
We've only just arrived, and they've already found 4 things wrong with it.
Gonna need a clutch.
Make that 5.
I'll know more shortly. I want to put a computer on. I want to check the cam deviation, and then that'll give me an inkling of whether the timing chain guides, how far out they are.
This relates to when the valves open and close, and ultimately how smooth the engine runs. And there's more.
Aircon, make sure it's working. The roof, wing mirrors. So yeah, there's quite a lot of checks that I need to do before it even goes on the ramp.
This is at the end of the early ones. The next year, they had a glass rear screen. But in the cold weather, these always crack. You always stop halfway and then just get out of the car, like that. It's called the Boxster chop.
Do people do that?
And the ones that have got knackered rear screens, no.
Power steering's noisy.
I've got that.
No stereo.
No stereo.
No stereo. I'm going home. I can't do my job with no stereo.
It goes on the list. Time to see if we fare any better when we plug the computer in. It will tell us how wobbly the important cam timing chain is.
The deviation of the cam, it's actually minus 10 degrees out. What'll happen eventually is, as the car gets warm, you're driving along, it'll stall at lights.
Engine out, cam covers off, camshafts out. Got like 15, 16 hours of labour.
This spoiler, it looks like it's not been fit, right? It's out massively there.
All these things are, of course, fixable.
Batteries insecure. MOT failure, that.
Aircon, nothing happening. The key's not coming out.
But even before we've put it up on a ramp,
Cooling fans are not actually working.
The car could possibly overheat.
this is starting to look like the most expensive bargain we've ever bought.
They certainly saw you coming.
In Leeds, we reckoned our £3,000 Porsche Boxster looked in good shape. But after each minute with mechanic Anthony, it's beginning to lose a little more of its shine.
Oh, God. I'm going home. So basically, the shocker stem is corroded. The stem washer is corroded. Ideally, wants a pair of shockers on the front.
We're off again.
I think I need to go get another couple of sheets.
It looks like it's had a refurb rack, but the power steering pipe's leaking. I'll go around here. So the AC condenser, the bottom has actually fallen off. Who needs aircon? You've got roof down.
The Boxster is a bit under-maintained, but apparently it also lived by the sea, which usually means rust.
Do you really want me to go further under, or...?
If you look up here, you can see the corrosion now. It's all split round.
The discs are corroded. It's a sign that the car's been stud. As you road test, some of the rust comes off, but that ain't going to clean up. It's too deep. Roll bars corroding. Just replace all this. They're properly shot. Everything's just rusty in it, just all corroded.
It's around about now we start wondering if we should just cut our losses and get rid. But where's the fun in that?
It's not that bad. We've seen worse.
The big jobs are about to start. First up, getting the engine out.
There it is.
Positioned right behind the seats, the difficulties of working on it in situ are fairly obvious.
I'm not exactly the smallest of guys. Eating a few donuts lately.
There's just about enough room to unplug pipes and cables.
That's the vacuum pipe that feeds this brake servo at the front.
More rusty bolts are removed.
Disconnecting the drive shaft to allow the engine and gearbox to come down.
And after the Porsche is relieved of its fluids, in this case 18 litres of coolant, Anthony and apprentice Kennedy can now drop out the flat six.
Up a little bit more. A bit more.
Even though it's all disconnected, care is needed to avoid snagging anything on the way out.
Go on, then. Go on. Go on. Go on. Well done. It's a boy. So we're going to take these cam covers off, get this exhaust off. We'll inspect the clutch.
Because the engine is removed, it's easier to work on, which saves labour costs. Routine stuff like swapping coil packs, the components that supply a high voltage to the spark plugs, is a drama-free activity.
This is a coil pack. These are the cracks. Those cracks get worse, causing the misfires. These are the later type coil packs. Sexy.
But the main reason that the engine's out and the cam cover is being prized off is to get to the timing chain and its worn plastic guides. They play an important role in a very clever system developed by Porsche called VarioCam. Valves sit at the top of the combustion chamber, above the pistons. The ones that allow air in are driven by their own camshaft, and the same goes for the valves allowing exhaust to be released. Going faster requires more fuel, but also more air to ignite it. So Porsche designed a computer-controlled, chain-driven way of continually varying the timing of the valves. When you put your foot down, plastic guide rails push the timing chain outwards, which alters the rotation of the camshaft. The intake valves open earlier and stay open for longer, so more air and more power. The problem we have is the simple plastic guide rails are worn out, so the chain can't be tightened enough, resulting in a lumpy engine.
Guide is knackered. Look at the state of that. That's supposed to be really smooth.
New ones only cost a few quid and they'll improve the driving experience, so all good. There's also another fairly simple component lurking between the engine and the gearbox, but this one has the reputation of keeping owners awake at night.
Right, the intermediate shaft bearing, yeah. If you're going to buy a Porsche Boxster, you search on Google, first thing that comes up, you know, if there's a problem, it's always the IMS bearing. And when it fails, then effectively all the chains and the shaft, it just bangs about inside. It's a catastrophic failure on the engine.
Clutch. When we drove it in, I thought it was going to be like literally down to the rivets, but these are excessively worn, these sides here. It's not as bad as I thought. Oh, this side is. There's a load of grooves here. Should be nice and flat. These are like hot spots. You can see more on the flywheel here.
Because the friction surface, made of metal and resin, is worn, the clutch will be replaced. And after removing the flywheel,
there we go.
The dreaded IMS starts to reveal itself.
So yeah, it's leaking. This here is basically clutch dust that's obviously wet from engine oil.
Less oil makes for dry bearings and ultimately failure. So with the aid of a nifty tool, it's coming out.
That's the IMS bearing.
A small lump of metal with ball bearings in it is what all the fuss is about. But knowing our new non-leaky one will be in its place should avoid the embarrassment of an exploding engine a week after we've re-auctioned the car. Work continues on our Porsche Boxster, the car that keeps on giving. Problems. Today's first unwelcome surprise concerns the limited slip differential in the gearbox, the bit that reduces wheel spin when you accelerate.
So the diff, we removed the bearings. The bearings were excessively worn, so we've got some new bearings. We just need to press them on and then install the diff.
It's a job for engineer Lucas.
Full of piece of metal inside.
Yeah.
A dodgy diff makes a horrible noise, but that's not all.
Could potentially lock all the transmission. So could have locked the back wheels up.
Next up in the broken bits hit list is something called an air oil separator.
Oh.
This one's also quite dramatic when it fails.
Basically the oil goes into the inlet manifold, straight through the engine, out the exhaust. You literally cannot see behind you. there's that much smoke.
One of those then, please.
This is box 10 of your parts.
The pile grows, Russ.
Not even a third of the way there.
RMS seal.
Yet another simple rubber ring that prevents the engine from destroying itself.
See how it's all nice, all the way around, flush. Happy days.
Apart from this fragile pipe fixing, which could ruin a nice drive out.
You can see this is cracked. If that were to fully come off, fluid will go everywhere, smoke will bellow everywhere, literally lose power steering.
What have we got here?
It's new starter motor. Yours sounded horrendous. There we go.
Add in a new clutch, and we've now run up quite a parts bill. It's a better car, but to most buyers, it will look exactly the same as when we bought it.
I understand it from your perspective. You're going to lose from it, you know, because if you spend £2,000 on the components, it'll go into auction and it won't make any more money. But I'd feel better for it being done, you know, and it left here knowing it's right. And I want the car to go to someone who will appreciate everything that's been done.
We're still not quite there with it though. Anthony's last big task is to sort out the heavily corroded suspension.
They're not normally this bad. So I'm just trying to literally get the bolt moving. School is important, but big biceps are more important. Whoa. The head snapped. It's that badly seized. This time I think I'm going to be taking the full hub and everything off. Oh. Let's get it to bench. Now it's off the car, I can heat it and get this bolt out. Woohoo!
When you get the suspension right, you'll be really surprised. It's a driver's car, you know, they might look sporty and, you know, people might fall in love with the look of them, but when you actually drive one, there's nothing that can compare, you know, not in that price bracket anyway.
High-quality Bilstein shocks will be fitted along with this stainless steel exhaust. After that, our Boxster will be almost ready for the road. As for our Porsche Boxster, Anthony is expecting to wave goodbye to it today. It's been here over a month.
I haven't done this much work in a long time.
But there are just a few remaining bits to sort.
Wheel arch liner out, because it's all broke. Bumper off, aircon. Can't believe someone silicone sealed the bumper and that on, and the light. That screw's missing.
Behind the bumper, an important part of the air conditioning seems to be full of crud and leaking.
One poorly condenser.
A nice, clean working system, on the other hand, does involve some cool physics. Switching it on draws warm air to a radiator called an evaporator. The liquid refrigerant inside it, usually Puron, absorbs the heat and changes from liquid into a gas. This is then pressurised and forced into a second radiator, the one that's broken at the front of our Boxster. Ambient air blows over the condenser, turning the gas back into a liquid. It then gets sent to a valve that reduces its pressure before returning to the evaporator. This allows it to be rapidly cooled to about -4 degrees. Ambient air flows between the evaporator's tiny, now chilly pipes and enters the cabin as a nice cool breeze. With more new parts, the aircon now works, but even that was a struggle.
This car's just been one thing after another. Put the air condensers on, lost 5 bar overnight. 4 days later, we finally found that the air compressor was actually releasing pressure.
Also causing last-minute problems, the folding roof.
There's a slight gap between the fabric and the frame. You can kind of see into the car. There's a bit of a leaving present just when we thought we were done.
Is there anything that hasn't been wrong with this car?
the seats, and the windscreen. That's about it.
We're also starting to take a shine to our Porsche Boxster, now that it's managed to escape the workshop. The only way we could think of combating the corrosion was to chuck new parts at it, but at least the condition of the oily bits now match the bodywork. Needless to say though, our finances have taken a bit of a kicking. Including tax and commission, we paid £3,545. Parts was £7,816 and labour was £5,666, bringing the total to an uber concerning £17,027.
I like these because I think they represent fantastic value for money and normally don't actually give us any grief. But in true Bangers style, it's gone through the workshops now with a tremendous amount of expenditure. The trouble is, that massive bill that you've got, you can't see any of that, can you? You can't see the clutch, the new clutch. You can't see a new starter motor. You can't see it. So it just looks like any other wire-edge Porsche Boxster. But after all that expenditure, they're going to have, you'd like to think, quite a nice car for the next few years that they can keep on top of, and it shouldn't need a lot of expense, should it?
These cars rarely sell for more than £5,000, so we're ready for a proper hiding.
Here we go for the Porsche Boxster. We've got all sorts of bids here, and we're going to start at 5, then we've got 5.5, then we've got 6, then we've got 6.5, then we've got 7, then we've got 7.5, then we've got 8, then we've got 8.5, then we've got 9.
Have they put the wrong picture
then
up?
We've got 9.5.
These are all separate pre-auction bids.
Then we've got 10,500. 10,000.
This is surprising. This is very surprising.
£10,500 we have at 10,000, 11,000, 11,300, 11,400. Are we all done? £11,400 then we're going to sell. So
That is worth such a big clap.
We're happy with that, but we can't help but be a bit concerned for new owner Ian Guest from Blackburn.
It's a two-seater. Unfortunately, there's 3 in my family. I have a little dog as well. So my wife won't get in it now. She thinks I'm crazy.
And there might be more trouble ahead.
I actually bid as well on a JTD soft-top Alfa Romeo, and I've won that. My wife doesn't know I've actually got another car. She thought I'd only paid 8 for this.
Anyway, he's determined to enjoy it while he can.
The main thing I like about it is it just sits there like a pouncing cat. It just looks good. I used to have a 911 and I used to struggle getting in and out. This one, I just roll in. I like driving around in winter time with the top down. Everything's been done. So it's like almost a brand new car. Why would you not buy it? It's good fun.